Have you ever gone to bed thinking it was just dinner and then woken up feeling heavier, more exhausted? Maybe getting up to use the bathroom again and again and again. If that sounds familiar, I need you to listen very carefully because what I'm about to tell you could quietly determine the future of your kidneys. I'm Dr. Richard Hale, and after decades working with adults over 50, I can say this with certainty. Kidney failure almost never begins in a hospital. It begins quietly, slowly at the dinner table. Across the United States, tens of thousands of older adults start dialysis every single year, not because of genetics, not because of sudden disease, but because of small, repeated mistakes made at night when the kidneys are supposed to rest, repair, and recover. Here's the dangerous truth most people are never told. Between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m., your kidneys enter their deepest filtration phase, the hours when they rebalance fluids, clear waste, and protect your blood chemistry. But when you overload them at night with the wrong salt, the wrong sugar, the wrong protein, or even the wrong healthy foods, your kidneys are forced into overdrive while you sleep. And they don't scream when that happens. They don't cause sharp pain. They don't warn you loudly. They fail silently year after year until one day the word dialysis enters your life and everything changes. And here's the part that should stop you from clicking away. Most of the foods that quietly damage kidneys at night are foods people believe are safe, even healthy. They are eaten by millions of American families every evening without a second thought. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 5 common nighttime foods that can silently push your kidneys toward failure. And more importantly, how to eat in a way that lets your kidneys rest, recover, and protect you for years to come. Stay with me because what you do at dinner tonight matters far more than you've ever been told. Let's start with the mistake that almost everyone makes first because it feels normal, familiar, and harmless: a salty dinner. Not fast food, not junk, just real food, seasoned a little heavier so it tastes right. A splash of soy sauce, a bowl of soup, gravy salad dressing, or that extra pinch of salt added without thinking. I once worked with a 68-year-old man who told me, "Doctor, I barely eat at night, just simple meals." But when we slowed down and looked closely, his dinners were quietly loaded with sodium. And that's where the danger begins. Salt doesn't just affect blood pressure, it fundamentally changes how your kidneys behave while you sleep. Sodium pulls water into the bloodstream, increasing blood volume. That extra volume forces your kidneys to filter more fluid, raising pressure inside the delicate filtering units called nephrons. The problem is timing. Between roughly 8 p.m. and 3 a.m., your kidneys are designed to slow down, stabilize electrolytes, and perform deep maintenance. When excess salt enters the system at night, that calm rhythm is broken. Instead of resting, your kidneys are pushed into a state of constant filtration hour after hour, while your body is supposed to be repairing itself. According to major health organizations, adults should stay under about 200-300 milligrams of sodium per day, yet data shows most people in the U.S. consume far more than that, with dinner being the largest contributor. And the kidneys don't complain loudly when this happens. There is no sharp pain, no warning signal. The signs are subtle and easy to dismiss. Mild swelling around the ankles or face in the morning, feeling thirsty during the night, blood pressure that refuses to stabilize despite medication, getting up to urinate multiple times even when you didn't drink much. Over time, this nightly strain causes microscopic scarring inside the kidneys, gradually reducing filtration efficiency. It's like running a washing machine on high speed every night without letting it cool down. One night doesn't matter, but the repetition does. This is why many people are shocked when kidney numbers worsen despite eating healthy. The issue was never calories. It was timing and sodium load at night. The encouraging part is this: your kidneys respond quickly to relief. Even modest sodium reduction at dinner can lower overnight filtration pressure, reduce nighttime urination, decrease morning swelling, and stabilize blood pressure within days or weeks. You don't need extreme restriction, you need strategic timing, but salt is only the first layer of the problem, because even people who reduce sodium at night often overlook another factor that quietly stresses the kidneys just as much, and it doesn't taste salty at all. Now, even if you've already started reducing salt at dinner, this is where many people unknowingly erase all that progress, because the next problem doesn't taste salty at all. It tastes comforting, sweet, familiar. A small dessert, a cookie, a bowl of cereal, a glass of milk with sugar or honey, something that feels gentle before bed. I remember a 72-year-old woman who told me, "Doctor, I don't eat heavy dinners anymore. I just need something sweet at night so I can relax." She genuinely believed she was being careful, but her lab work told a very different story. Here's what most people are never told. Sugar at night doesn't just affect your blood sugar, it fundamentally changes how your kidneys and hormones behave while you sleep. Simple sugars are absorbed quickly, causing blood glucose to spike within minutes. After age 50 or 60, insulin response slows down, meaning sugar stays in the bloodstream longer. When blood sugar rises at night, your kidneys are forced to filter and excrete that excess glucose through urine. This is one of the main reasons people wake up multiple times to urinate after sweet evening snacks, even if they didn't drink much fluid. Large population studies have shown that repeated nighttime blood sugar spikes are linked to faster progression of chronic kidney disease, independent of daytime sugar intake. In other words, it's not just how much sugar you eat, it's when you eat it. And the damage doesn't stop at filtration. Rapid rises and drops in blood sugar activate stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones fragment sleep, preventing the body from entering deep repair stages. That's why many people say, "I slept all night, but I still feel exhausted." The body was busy firefighting instead of healing. Over months and years, this nightly cycle quietly inflames the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys, accelerating loss of filtration capacity without dramatic warning signs. The clues are subtle and easy to dismiss: morning fatigue, blurry vision that comes and goes, tingling in the hands or feet, sugar cravings the next day, and an increasing dependence on nighttime bathroom trips. The encouraging news is that this is highly reversible. Avoiding sweet foods after dinner, choosing unsweetened options, or shifting carbohydrates earlier in the day can stabilize overnight blood sugar within days. Many people notice fewer bathroom trips, deeper sleep, and better morning energy surprisingly fast. But here's where it gets even more important. Even if you fix salt and sugar at night, there is another category of food that can silently overload the kidneys far more than most people realize, because it creates waste that only the kidneys can remove. And that next factor catches almost everyone off guard. So even if you've already reduced salt and cut back on sweets at night, this is where many people unknowingly place the heaviest burden on their kidneys, because protein feels safe, nourishing, even responsible. A steak for dinner, a bowl of beef soup, organ meats, or a protein-heavy meal meant to keep you strong. I once spoke with a 70-year-old man who told me, "Doctor, I eat protein at night so I don't lose muscle." His intention was right, but the timing was quietly working against him. Here's what rarely gets explained clearly. When you eat high amounts of protein, especially red meat and organ meats, your body produces nitrogen-based waste products, primarily urea and creatinine. These are not optional byproducts. They must be filtered out of your blood by the kidneys. During the day, your body distributes blood flow across muscles and activity, giving the kidneys some flexibility. At night, however, circulation shifts into a repair-focused mode. Blood flow to the kidneys becomes more constant and concentrated, which means adding a heavy protein load at night forces your kidneys to work at full speed for hours while you sleep. After age 60, kidney filtration naturally declines by about 1 to 2% per year, even in healthy adults. That means the same dinner you tolerated at 40 can become excessive at 70. Large observational studies have shown that people who regularly consume high amounts of red meat experience faster declines in kidney function compared to those who emphasize lighter protein sources. Organ meats add another layer of risk because they are rich in purines, which break down into uric acid. Elevated uric acid increases kidney workload, promotes crystal formation inside the kidneys, and raises the risk of gout and kidney stones. The warning signs are subtle: feeling unusually thirsty at night, mild lower back discomfort, heavier fatigue in the morning, or waking with a dry mouth and foggy head. These are not signs of aging. They are signs your kidneys spent the night processing waste instead of repairing tissue. The key message here is not fear or elimination. Protein is essential for muscle immunity and strength, especially as we age. But timing and type matter more than quantity. Choosing lighter proteins at night, such as fish eggs, poultry tofu, or smaller portions, can dramatically reduce overnight nitrogen load. Shifting heavier protein meals earlier in the day allows your kidneys to process waste when your body is better equipped to handle it. Many people notice fewer nighttime bathroom trips and better morning energy within weeks of making this change. But even protein timing is only part of the picture, because there is another common dinner habit that silently damages kidney blood vessels, themselves making filtration harder no matter how carefully you eat. And that next factor often hides in plain sight, sizzling on the plate. And even if you've adjusted salt, sugar, and protein at night, there is still a habit that quietly undermines all of that effort because it doesn't overload the kidneys with waste, it damages the blood vessels that feed them. Fried foods, crispy fish, fried chicken eggs, cooked in oil, reheated leftovers, browned in a pan, or anything cooked in oil that's been heated again and again. I once met a 69-year-old woman who said, "Doctor, I barely eat meat at night, just a small piece of fried fish, so it goes down easily." What she didn't realize is that frying changes food in ways your kidneys feel hours later. When oils are heated to high temperatures, especially repeatedly, they undergo oxidation and form inflammatory compounds, including lipid peroxides and trans fats. These compounds don't cause immediate pain, but they trigger low-grade inflammation inside blood vessel walls. And the kidneys are uniquely vulnerable because they rely on an incredibly dense network of tiny blood vessels to filter blood efficiently. Research shows that diets high in fried foods are associated with increased albumin leakage into urine, a sign that the kidney's filtration barrier is being damaged at the microscopic level. In simple terms, the filters start to leak. As blood vessels stiffen and lose elasticity, blood flow through the kidneys becomes less smooth. Pressure inside the filters rises, and filtration efficiency slowly declines. This is why people often report very specific nighttime symptoms after fried dinners: increased thirst, more frequent urination, restless sleep, a bitter taste in the mouth upon waking, or a heavy, sluggish feeling the next morning. These are not digestive problems. They are circulation problems. At night, when your body should be shifting into repair mode, fried foods force your liver and kidneys into detox mode, generating oxidative stress instead of healing. Studies in older adults show that repeated exposure to oxidized fats accelerates vascular aging, making kidney blood flow less adaptable over time. The encouraging news is that this damage is highly sensitive to change. Simply switching cooking methods at dinner can dramatically reduce overnight kidney stress. Steaming, baking, poaching, or lightly sautéing with fresh oil keeps fats stable and reduces inflammatory byproducts. Many people notice better sleep quality and fewer nighttime awakenings within weeks of reducing fried foods at night. The goal is not perfection, but timing. Fried foods during the day allow the body to process oxidative load while circulation is more active. At night, the kidneys need calm, not combustion. But here's where things become even more surprising. Many people who avoid fried foods at dinner still overload their kidneys with something they believe is harmless, even beneficial, simply because it comes from nature. And that final category may be the most misunderstood of all. And this is where almost everyone is caught off guard, because the final risk doesn't come from processed food, sugar, or oil, but from something most people trust completely: fruit. Bananas before bed to prevent cramps, a glass of orange juice to feel clean, avocado with dinner because it's heart healthy, or mango and melon as a light dessert. I once worked with a 73-year-old man who told me, "Doctor, I stopped fried foods and sweets. At night, I only eat fruit." His intentions were perfect, but his symptoms kept getting worse. Here's what most people don't realize. Many fruits are very high in potassium, a mineral that is essential for muscle and heart function, but only when the kidneys can clear excess amounts efficiently. As we age, kidney potassium clearance naturally slows, especially at night. Between 8 p.m. and early morning, the kidneys shift into a low variability mode, meaning they adjust electrolytes more slowly. When high potassium foods are eaten, late potassium levels can rise and stay elevated for hours. Clinical data shows that even mild nighttime potassium elevation can increase cardiac strain and disrupt kidney filtration rhythms, particularly in adults over 60 or those with early kidney decline they may not even know they have. This is why some people wake up feeling weak, lightheaded, or unusually tired after eating fruit at night, even though they believe they made a healthy choice. The warning signs are subtle muscle heaviness, irregular heartbeat sensations, morning fatigue that doesn't improve with sleep, or nighttime urination paired with shallow rest. Fruit juices make this worse because they concentrate potassium and sugar without fiber to slow absorption. The science is clear. Potassium itself is not the enemy. Timing is. When consumed earlier in the day, potassium-rich foods support blood pressure and muscle function. At night, when kidney clearance is reduced, that same intake becomes a quiet burden. The solution is not to avoid fruit, but to respect the clock. Shifting high-potassium fruits to breakfast or lunch, choosing lower potassium options in the evening, or limiting portion size can dramatically reduce overnight kidney stress. Many people notice more stable sleep, fewer nighttime awakenings, and improved morning energy within days of making this change. And this is the moment where everything comes together. Salt, sugar, protein, oil, and even fruit are not inherently dangerous. What makes them harmful is repeating the wrong choices at the wrong time night after night when the kidneys are most vulnerable. And now that you understand this final piece, the real question becomes this. If a few small changes at dinner can protect your kidneys so powerfully, what happens when you align your entire evening routine with how your body is actually designed to heal? Before we close, I want you to take a breath and remember this. Nothing you've heard today is meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. Your kidneys are not fragile enemies waiting to fail. They are resilient, loyal organs that respond remarkably well when we stop working against them. You don't need extreme diets, expensive supplements, or drastic rules. What truly protects your kidneys is awareness, timing, and consistency. Eating a little lighter at night, choosing calmer foods, finishing dinner earlier, drinking fluids wisely, and letting your body rest the way it was designed to rest. These are not sacrifices. They are acts of self-respect. And if you've made mistakes in the past, that does not mean damage is inevitable. The kidneys heal quietly when given the chance. Many people see improvements in sleep, energy, blood pressure, and lab values simply by changing what they do after sunset. If this video helped you see your evening habits in a new light, I encourage you to save it now, because these are the kinds of reminders we all need to revisit. And please consider subscribing to the channel. Every week, we share clear, evidence-based medical guidance to help you protect your kidneys, reduce nighttime symptoms, and age with strength and dignity without fear or confusion. I know there is a lot of health information online, and much of it is overwhelming or misleading. My goal is to give you calm, practical knowledge you can actually use in daily life. And most importantly, I want you to know you're not alone in this. If you have questions, experiences, or concerns about your kidney health, leave a comment. I read them, and they help shape future videos. Your body is always working to protect you. When you support it with the right choices, even small ones, healing becomes possible again. Take care of yourself tonight. Your kidneys are listening.